Okay, so we are studying our last chapter, chapter 12, and this is step 1. So let's get started. We will talk about the subjunctive in adverbial clauses. So the subjunctive has been very important in this chapter, and then now we're going to be introduced to something else, adverbial clauses. So in this case, what we're dealing with is to provide information. That's what adverbs do. They provide information about how, why, and when actions take place. So it's very important to know this description, this information that we get. So for example here, ¿Quieres estudiar en el extranjero? So someone is asking, do you want to study abroad? And so in this adverbial clauses tell us some information. For example here, debes elegir un buen programa para que tengas una buena experiencia. So you have to choose a good program so that you have, or you are able to have or get a good experience. Another one, debes hacer un presupuesto antes de que te vayas. So you have to come up with some type of budget before you leave. See, this is like a when something happens. Debes conseguir una visa estudiantil a menos que un pasaporte sea suficiente. So you have to get a student visa unless a passport is necessary or is enough. So we always have to have in mind that these adverbs are going to tell us something about how, why, and when. And it's about actions. And so let's see. So adverbial clauses provide information, like I already said, about how, why, and when actions take place. So these clauses are dependent and they are introduced by connectors. Those connectors are called conjunctions. So the conjunctions that we were seeing, we saw before, those are the ones that we can work with. For example, here, después de. So this is telling us about when something, right? After or before, that's when. So in this case, after. So, después de que hables con tu consejero, tomamos un café. After, right? Después. After you talk with your counselor, why don't we go get some coffee? And another one, so some conjunctions, what happens is that they require the subjunctive in the adverbial clause. And so, depending on the conjunction, right? For example, here, pienso estudiar en el extranjero con tal de que me ofrezcan una beca. So here we don't know. We have no control over this. And so, like, I plan to study abroad provided that I'm offered a scholarship. And so in this case, we don't know. We don't have any control over who can give us a scholarship or not. And so that's why in this case we have to use the subjunctive because it's something very uncertain. Okay, so the subjunctive is always used after certain adverbial conjunctions. So let's see the ones that for sure will need the subjunctive. En caso de que, when we want to say in case of something, that will trigger subjunctive. Sin que, without or unless. Con tal de que, o con tal que, either one. Provided that. Antes de que, before. Para que, a fin de que. So that, in order that. A menos que, unless. So these 6 adverbial conjunctions always need the subjunctive when they are in a sentence. So a good acronym to remember this, escapa. It can be good for a memory device. Okay, other conjunctions talk about time, for example. Those require the subjunctive in the adverbial clause only to refer to future actions or events, because they express something that is incomplete. Vas a aprender mucho cuando estudies en Chile el próximo año. So in this case, this is something, referring to the future. And it's something that hasn't happened yet. So it's an incomplete action. And so you're going to learn a lot when you study in Chile next year. I mean, we have no control over the future. And so if this happens, yeah, the person is going to learn a lot when it's in Chile. But since this refers to the future, we need to use the subjunctive here, okay? Okay, so other conjunctions that need the subjunctive to refer to the future are cuando, we already used that one, después de que, that is after, en cuanto, as soon as something, okay? Hasta que, until, mientras, while, tan pronto como, as soon as. And so en cuanto o tan pronto como are the same, mean the same thing. There are a few conjunctions that we can use the subjunctive only when the subjects in the main and dependent clauses are different. But if the subject is the same, we use the infinitive. And so, for example, here, if we have two different subjects, we're going to use a subjunctive. And these are the conjunctions. Antes de que, después de que, para que, sin que. When there's only one subject, we're going to drop que. We use actually the same, as you can see. Antes, antes. But we are dropping que here. And then these ones need the infinitive. Like verbs like this. Okay, so let's see a few examples. Voy a hacerlo antes de que ellos lleguen. So I'm going to do it before they arrive. Okay? But if we also use the same conjunction antes or before, and in this one it says lo haré antes de salir. So here we can see that we have two subjects, I and they, right? But here's only I. I shall do it or I will do it before leaving. This is the person saying something that the person will do before leaving. So it's just one subject. In that case, we use antes de, no que, right? And so that's how we use these conjunctions. Let's see this example. ¿Piensas estudiar en el extranjero? So do you think to study abroad? Two things. Okay, so let's see. Debes informarte sobre las costumbres. So someone is saying you have to get informed about the costumes. So, about the costume, and then it will make sense, something that when the person leaves to go there. The next one says, es bueno vivir con una familia. So it's good to live with a family, blank. And then you get acquainted with the culture of the country. And so the ones that make sense here are, debes informarte sobre las costumbres antes de que vayas. So before you go. You have to get informed about the costumes there before you go. Es bueno vivir con una familia para que, so that you get acquainted with the culture of the country, to feel part of this country, this culture. So here's there's a presentation, there's a slide that I provide also with a practice. And so using this in bold, you see all these conjunctions, and so you will have to decide, also paying attention to the verb. If the verb reflects some idea of the future, you will have to decide if you have to use the infinitive, the indicative or the subjunctive. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this presentation and we'll talk soon. Ciao, chicos.